Common Conversations. My name is Jude.
My name is John, and welcome to another special kids edition of Uncommon Conversations. I'm so excited to be here with you, Jude. So, hey, we've been talking about Jesus a lot lately, and one of the questions we've had is, why did Jesus die? So, Jude, what do you think? Why did Jesus die?
Well, he punched people, and people...
He punched people?
No.
Okay. Who punched?
Humans, and they thought they were doing the right thing by killing people, and then God got on the cross with all those sins, with all those punched, all those humans were giving it to God. And then he got nailed to the cross with a dress with nails and a hat with nails. Imagine doing that all for us.
No, I really couldn't imagine that. No, you said a lot of good things there. Jesus died because people said, hey, look, you're claiming to be king. We already have a king. We don't like you. You're putting everything we're doing in jeopardy. And so what do we do with people who claim to be king? Well, we kill them as rebels, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so Jesus died that way. But it's really important for us not to just think of Jesus as a victim, as Jesus is just somebody who is just a victim of circumstance, who happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, right? Jesus actually said he wanted to be there, and he wanted to give his life for us, to set us free from all of this stuff. He died for a rebellious people, though he himself was not a rebel, to set them free. He died for an enslaved people, though he himself was not a slave. He died as a rebel. He died as a slave, and he did all of this to help set us free, but more importantly than that, to help to invite us into becoming partners with God and what he wants to do, making everything right, be agents of forgiveness as he was on the cross. What do you think about that?
Cool.
That's pretty cool, huh? What other questions do we have?
Couldn't Jesus use an army? Well, that's impossible.
You think so? Okay, so we did talk about this. Why didn't Jesus just use an army? If he wanted to introduce something new, if he wanted to defeat this power of evil over us, if he wanted to defeat the things that were enslaving us, if he wanted to be the better king, kings have armies, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and even Paul would say maybe we're part of God's army in some way, if we were to use that language. Why didn't Jesus just use an army? Any ideas?
No, because he couldn't do it. The armies couldn't just kill Jesus and just give all the sins.
Okay, well, let's talk about this. Okay, we would expect a king to use an army, but God does things in a very unexpected way. And if he wanted to defeat his enemies as a king, not just to become king, right? If his ultimate goal was not just to become a king, but actually to create a whole new place, a whole new world, a whole new way of living, then he wanted to do it in a way that wasn't founded on the same kind of powers of force, but founded on a better way, one of self-giving love. Here's a really important point. Jesus doesn't just care what we try to accomplish. He cares about how we go about doing it. So think about it this way. Maybe you're in school and you think about homework. Jesus doesn't just care that you would get your homework done. He cares about how you do it. So it's really important that you don't cheat, because the way God does things is a kingdom of truth and love and grace and mercy, things like that. So God doesn't just want you to get your homework done and be obedient that way. He wants you to do it in a way that is faithful and good. What do you think about that?
And he doesn't just care about himself. He cares about everybody.
It's so right, Jude. He cares about everyone. Okay, well, how about this one? If Jesus defeated this enemy by dying on the cross, why does it look like this enemy still exists? Why do bad things still happen in the world?
Well,
that's a tough question, huh? Mm-hmm. That's one of the toughest questions, huh?
Well, you know why? If people punch someone, they get a sin of someone.
Yeah, you're right. If I hit you, you would be receiving my sin upon you. And that's what Jesus was doing on the cross. When those people hit him and spit on him and called him bad names and even drove nails into his hands and thorns into his head, Jesus was receiving all of that action from those people. And he took it all on, and instead of retaliation, instead of hitting back and calling down, fire from the sky upon people, Jesus forgave them. He said, Father, would you forgive them? They don't know what they're doing. They don't know who I am. They don't know what's going on right now. And I'm doing all of this to forgive them, to release them from this rather than pushing it back on them. And here's the most important thing. Why do bad things still happen? Why, if this enemy's been defeated? Well, the divisive founding victory happened at the cross. That's what we believe. But it didn't end there. Jesus invited us to be partners in this whole new thing springing forth. And you know how we go about doing that? How do we participate in what Jesus did?
Well,
What kind of things do you think we can do that would help, that would carry out what Jesus began doing on the cross?
we would help him get our sins away by punching him and giving over sin.
No, that's cute though. We would forgive other people when they hurt us. Jesus has already received our sin. We don't have to add to it. Jesus has forgiven us. And now that you've been forgiven by Jesus, you can forgive other people. That's a beautiful way. Now that Jesus has taught you this whole new way to live and this whole new reality in which we can now be a part of what God's doing, we want to be a part of what God's doing. And what God's doing is he's forgiving other people when they're hurting us. He's loving other people, even those who aren't the people we like, even those who are mean to us or hit us or say mean things to us. We can choose to respond to them in love, just how Jesus responded to us in love. We can give help to people in need. How can you help people, Jude?
But by telling them how, telling them, can I tell you a story?
Yeah, please.
If I was walking around and someone was homeless and I told them about God, and then they were like, "Oh, now I'm a new person. I know everything."
Yeah, you're right. That's so cool. We go out weekly. What do we do with some people we meet that live on the streets?
Feed them and every week.
Yeah, we do. We help them. We help others. Jesus has given this radical new capacity in his spirit and in his life to help other people, to not respond to the evil and the hurt in this world by responding with more evil and hurt. He's given us this radical new capacity of love to respond to the evil and the hurt that we see in this world with more love and more forgiveness. Last way that we can really help and be agents of what God has begun at the cross, prayer.
Mm-hmm.
We can pray for people. We can pray for people's healing. We can pray for their comfort. We can pray for them to know more about Jesus. We can pray for a lot of things, huh?
Well, thank you for going to the special episode of Unconversations. My name is Jude.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, my name's John, and yes, thank you so much for checking this episode out. Maybe you have some things to share about Jesus and what he means to you. We'd love to hear that, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Join the conversation in the comments down below, and check out the next episode when it comes out, huh?
And our street is named...
Okay, awesome. Thanks.